This rule alone made me more productive than every app combined. If you pride yourself on ambition, this rule will challenge you. Because everything you've been taught about productivity is backwards. You've been told, do more, work harder, optimize every minute, stack your calendar, maximize output. So you download every productivity app, you try every system, you fill every hour. Notion, Todoist, Asana, Google Calendar, time blocking, Pomodoro, getting things done. You're doing all the things the high performers are supposedly doing. But here's what nobody tells you. High performers are doing the opposite, and they're getting 10 times the results with a fraction of the effort. I'm Mr. Reed, and this is the Standard Project. In the next 18 minutes, I'm going to show you the one rule that made me more productive than any system, any app, any hack I've ever tried. And it's going to challenge everything you think you know about productivity. Follow me. Most men confuse being busy with being effective, and it's costing them years. Let me describe your typical day. You wake up, you check your phone. 47 notifications, 12 emails that need responses, 3 Slack messages marked urgent. Before you even get out of bed, you're already behind. You open your to-do list, 23 tasks. You tell yourself today's the day you're going to clear it. You sit down at your desk. You have 6 browser tabs open, 3 different apps running, your phone buzzing every few minutes. You're always working, always hustling, always busy. By noon, you've answered 30 emails, attended 2 meetings, put out 3 fires, started 5 different tasks, finished 0. By 5 p.m., you're exhausted. You've been working for 9 hours straight. But when someone asks, "What did you accomplish today?" you struggle to answer. Because you've been busy, but you haven't moved the needle on anything that actually matters. Harvard Business Review studied thousands of professionals across industries. They found something shocking. The busiest people are the least effective. They're stuck in reactive mode, responding to everything, creating nothing. Their days are filled with activity, but empty of impact. Meanwhile, high performers are doing something completely different. They have fewer items on their to-do list, not more. They work fewer hours, not more. They say no to almost everything, and they accomplish more in a month than most people do in a year. Why? Because they understand one fundamental truth. Constraint creates performance. Freedom creates mediocrity. And in the next 15 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to use this truth to transform your productivity. The rule is simple. Constraint creates performance. Freedom creates mediocrity. When you have unlimited time, you waste time. When you have unlimited options, you spread thin. When you have unlimited tasks, nothing gets done well. The solution isn't more productivity tools, it's more constraint. In 1955, Cyril Northcote Parkinson observed something remarkable. Work expands to fill the time available for its completion. This became known as Parkinson's Law, and it explains everything about why you're busy but unproductive. Give yourself 8 hours to write a report. It takes 8 hours. Give yourself 2 hours for the same report. It takes 2 hours. Same quality, same result. 1/4 the time. Why? Because when you have all day, you start slower, get distracted more often, overthink decisions, tinker with unimportant details, fill time with busy work. But when you have 2 hours, you start immediately, stay intensely focused, make decisions quickly, ignore unimportant details, execute ruthlessly. Constraint forces clarity, freedom allows waste, and this applies to every dimension of productivity. The 3 constraints. There are 3 types of constraint you need. 1. Time constraint, less time, more focus. 2. Task constraint, fewer tasks, deeper work. 3. Standard constraint, higher bar, better output. Let me break down each one. Constraint 1. Time, cut your available work time in half. If you work 10 hours a day, cut to 5. If you work 8 hours, cut to 4. Sound impossible? It's not. You'll just eliminate everything that doesn't actually matter. Here's what a typical 10-hour workday actually contains. 3 hours of real, focused work. 2 hours of meetings that could have been emails. 1.5 hours checking email and Slack. 1 hour of unnecessary context switching. 1 hour of busy work that doesn't matter. 1.5 hours of procrastination disguised as work. You're only actually productive for 3 hours. The other 7 hours are waste. When you have less time, you can't afford waste. You cut. The meeting that should have been an email. Send the email. Checking email 30 times a day. Check twice in batches. The tasks that don't move the needle, delete them. The busy work that makes you feel productive, eliminate it. Cal Newport's research on deep work shows that most knowledge workers can only sustain 3 to 4 hours of truly focused, cognitively demanding work per day. Everything beyond that is either low-value work or fake work. So when you constrain your time to 4 to 5 hours, you're not losing productive capacity. You're just cutting the waste and protecting your peak performance hours. Practical application. Set a hard stop time. Say, I'm done working at 2 p.m. today. Now work backwards. What absolutely has to get done? That's your real priority list. Everything else was noise. Constraint 2. Tasks. 1 goal, 1 project, 1 priority. Not 3 goals, not 5 projects. 1. Everything else is secondary or eliminated. This is where ambitious people struggle the most. You want to do everything. You see opportunities everywhere. You don't want to miss out. So you say yes to starting a side business, learning a new language, getting in the best shape of your life, reading 50 books this year, building your social media presence, networking more, all at the same time. And 6 months later, you've made mediocre progress on all of them and mastery on none. When you have 1 priority, you make massive progress fast. When you have 10 priorities, you have 0 priorities. Because a priority is something you do first. You can't do 10 things first. Dr. Edwin Locke's research on goal setting shows that specific, narrow goals lead to higher performance than vague or multiple goals. When you focus on one thing, you don't context switch, which destroys productivity. Build momentum. Progress creates more progress. Achieve mastery. Depth beats breadth. Actually finish, instead of perpetually starting. Most people have 10 goals they're working on simultaneously. After 6 months, progress on each goal, 20%. Mastery achieved, 0. Frustration level, high. Compare that to 1 focus. After 6 months, progress on the goal, 100%. Mastery achieved, 1. Confidence level, sky high. Then you move to the next thing, and you master that too. Sequential mastery beats simultaneous mediocrity. Practical application. Write down everything you're working on. Now ask, if I could only accomplish 1 thing in the next 3 months, what would it be? That's your priority. Everything else gets paused or deleted. Constraint 3. Standards raise the bar on what you tolerate. Most people accept mediocre work because they're doing too much. When you have 23 tasks on your plate, you can't do excellent work on any of them. You rush, you cut corners, you ship things that are good enough, and good enough compounds into a mediocre career. When you do less, you can demand excellence. Visual, quality curve showing inverse relationship. More tasks equals lower quality per task. If you're only working on 1 project this quarter, you can obsess over it. You can refine until it's exceptional. Get feedback and iterate. Study the best and match their quality. Take pride in the craftsmanship. This is how you build a reputation. Stanford research on creative output shows that quality beats quantity in long-term career success. 1 exceptional project opens more doors than 10 mediocre projects. Because people remember excellence. They forget mediocrity. The standard constraint question: would I be proud to show this to someone I respect? If the answer is no, don't ship it. Either make it excellent or don't do it at all. Now let me show you exactly how to implement the constraint greater than freedom rule in your life. How to eliminate 50% of tasks instantly. Here's the exercise. Pull up your to-do list. Write down every project you're working on, every goal you're pursuing, every commitment you've made. Now go through each one and ask, if I could only do 1 thing this month, would this be it? If the answer is no, eliminate it or delegate it. Let me be clear. I mean actually eliminate it. Not, I'll get back to this later. Not, this is still important but not urgent. Delete it, cancel it, say no. Examples. That side project you started 6 months ago and haven't touched in 3 months, kill it. That networking group you attend but get no value from, quit. That weekly meeting that accomplishes nothing, stop attending. That skill you thought you should learn but don't actually care about. Let it go. You'll cut at least half your list. And immediately, you'll feel lighter. Because you're no longer carrying the weight of commitments you never really wanted. The psychological burden of an overloaded task list is massive. Cognitive load research shows that even uncompleted tasks take up mental bandwidth. Every item on your list that you're not actively working on creates background anxiety. When you eliminate ruthlessly, you free up that mental space for what actually matters. One decision filter for priorities. Whenever you're deciding whether to take on something new, use this filter. Will this matter in 6 months? If the answer is no, it's not a priority. It's a distraction. Most urgent things don't actually matter long term. Most important things aren't urgent. The Eisenhower matrix categorizes tasks into 4 quadrants: urgent and important, crises, deadlines, not urgent and important, planning, building, learning, urgent and not important, interruptions, busy work, not urgent and not important, time wasters. Most people live in urgent and important and urgent and not important. They are constantly reacting, constantly firefighting, constantly busy. High performers live in not urgent and important. They're building, planning, creating systems, investing in the future. These are the things that matter in 6 months, 6 years, 60 years. Examples of what matters in 6 months. Building a skill that increases your earning potential. Creating content that builds your reputation. Developing relationships with high-value people. Working on projects that could become assets. Improving your health and energy. Examples of what doesn't matter in 6 months. Responding to every email immediately. Attending every meeting you're invited to. Scrolling social media. Optimizing minor details. Saying yes to every request. The filter is simple. If it won't matter in 6 months, say no. Why fewer goals compound faster? Here's the math that changes everything. When you focus on one goal for a year, you make exponential progress. When you split focus across 5 goals, you make linear progress on each. Let me show you what I mean. One goal, 100% focus. Month 1 to 3. Building foundation, slow progress. Month 4 to 6, foundation solid, progress accelerates. Month 7 to 9, momentum kicks in, rapid growth. Month 10 to 12, compounding effects, exponential results. 5 goals, 20% focus each. Month 1 to 3, slow progress on all 5. Month 4 to 6, still slow progress on all 5. Month 7 to 9, still slow progress on all 5. Month 10 to 12, still slow progress on all 5. One goal compounds. 5 goals don't. The compound effect only works when you stay focused long enough for it to kick in. Most people quit or switch focus right before the exponential growth phase. They put in 3 months of work, see linear results, get frustrated, and move to something else. Then they repeat the same pattern. They're perpetually stuck in the slow growth phase of multiple things instead of reaching the exponential phase of one thing. Real-world example. Person A decides to build a business, get in shape, learn Spanish, grow a YouTube channel, read 50 books after 1 year. Business, barely started, no revenue. Fitness, lost some weight, gained some back. Spanish, can order at a restaurant. YouTube, 10 videos, 200 subscribers. Books, read 15, remember none. Person B decides to build a business. That's it. After 1 year, business, $10,000 per month in revenue, scalable systems, real asset. Person B is objectively further ahead. And they did less, not more. Focus creates leverage. Distraction creates waste. Let me leave you with this. High performers don't do more, they tolerate less. That's the fundamental difference. Most people think productivity is about doing more. They try to squeeze more tasks into their day. They wake up earlier, they work longer hours, they optimize every minute. And they burn out, or they stay busy forever but never make real progress. High performers do the opposite. They say no to almost everything. They ruthlessly eliminate tasks that don't matter. They protect their time like it's the most valuable resource they have, because it is. They tolerate less. Less busy work that makes them feel productive without creating value. Less meetings that waste their peak energy hours. Less commitments that drain their focus. Less mediocrity in their output. Less distraction in their environment. Greg McKeown's research on essentialism shows that high achievers don't just have better time management, they have better priority management. They're comfortable saying no. They're comfortable disappointing people who want their time, because they understand if you don't prioritize your life, someone else will. Every yes to something unimportant is a no to something that matters. Every hour spent on busy work is an hour not spent on your one priority. Every task you add to your list dilutes your focus. Constraint isn't limitation, it's liberation. When you cut the noise, you finally have space for signal. When you eliminate the trivial many, you can focus on the vital few. When you tolerate less, you accomplish more. This is the productivity rule 99% of men ignore, and now you know it. Now you understand the rule. Less time, fewer tasks, higher standards, constraint over freedom. But here's the problem. Knowing this rule is easy. Enforcing it is hard. Because every single day, something will try to break your constraint. A new opportunity will appear. It looks exciting. You'll want to say yes. Someone will ask for your time. They'll make it sound urgent. You'll feel obligated. A shiny new idea will pop into your head. You'll want to chase it immediately. And if you don't have the discipline to say no, you'll be right back where you started. Busy, scattered, productive on paper, but ineffective in reality. The difference between people who know this rule and people who benefit from this rule is discipline. The discipline to say no when everyone expects yes. Delete tasks instead of postponing them. Protect your one priority even when other things seem urgent. Tolerate the discomfort of missing out. Maintain constraint when freedom is easier. That kind of discipline doesn't come from willpower. It comes from a system. If you want discipline strong enough to enforce this rule daily, watch next. Because I'm going to show you the exact system I use to maintain constraint even when opportunities are screaming at me. People are demanding my time. My brain is telling me to do more. Everything feels urgent. The system removes the need for willpower. It makes constraint automatic. And it works even on days when your discipline is at zero. Watch the next video now. One standard, greatness, one project, you.